Hello students. Today we are going to start a new chapter, the Mughal Empire. So first I would like to tell you about the Delhi Sultanate. The time period of Delhi Sultanate was before Mughals. After the Delhi Sultanate, Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi and founded the Mughal Empire. And the question is, who were the Mughals? The Mughals belong to the Central Asia, and they have their line of origin. They trace their line of origin to two great rulers of Central Asia. First is Genghis Khan, that was from their mother's side, and they were also the successor of Taimur, who was from their father's side. The Mughals were proud of their Timurid dynasty because Taimur invaded Delhi in 1398 and was able to found the Lodi dynasty. And so they were proud of the Timurid dynasty, that is of their father's side. So as you all know that Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in 1526 in the Battle of Panipat and founded the Mughal Empire. So Babur was the founder of Mughal Empire. What was his achievement? First of all, he defeated Ibrahim Lodi at the first battle of Panipat and occupied Delhi, Agra and made his position strong. He also defeated Rajput king Rana Sanga in the battle of Khanwa in 1527. Later on, he conquered Gwalior, Dholpur, and other than this achievement, he was also a very accomplished poet and writer. He has written his own autobiography. He has written his autobiography, that is Tuzuk-e-Babri, and in this autobiography, he has described the physical features of and the climate, the flora, the fauna, and the culture of India. Especially, he was very much influenced by the beauty of India, so he has described this all in his book. So after the death of Babur, Humayun, his son, came to the throne of Mughal Empire. So he was the eldest son. Humayun was the eldest son. When he came to the throne, he has to face many problems. He has to face many rivalries. He has to face dispute among his own brothers for the because these brothers were not satisfied with whatever responsibilities they have been given. So his brother Kamran was very ambitious, and this has caused he wanted to actually Humayun wanted to take over the Afghans, but Kamran, which was not supporting him, that is why his achievement, his ambition to winning over Afghans were not fulfilled. And during his time, Bahadur Shah, he was the ruler of Gujarat. He was threatening Delhi, and other than Gujarat, in the northern part of India, Sher Shah, Afghan ruler who has become very, very powerful during his time, and he has a great rivalry between Humayun and Sher Shah. And both of them have rivalry. It started around 1532, and first of all, Humayun was defeated by Sher Shah at Chausa in 1539, and second time also he was defeated in 1540 at Kannauj. Now, when he was defeated at second time, he was very badly defeated, so he had to escape from Delhi, and he escaped from Delhi. And where he went to Persia for to seek refuge from the threatening of Sher Shah. So the king of Persia has given refuge to Humayun, but Humayun again returned back in 1555 when after the death of Sher Shah. He was only able to return to Delhi after the death of Sher Shah. And in 1855 he returned to India, and he has all reconstructed himself and regained all his lost territories. But very soon he died in an accident. In 1556 he died in an accident. So now here I will tell you shortly about who was Sher Shah Suri. Sher Shah time period was AD 1540 to 1545. He was son of Afghan Jagirdar. His original name was Farid Khan. This title was given when Sher Shah was Sher Shah killed a live tiger. That is why he has given this title Sher Shah. What was his achievement? As I have told earlier, he defeated the Mughal Emperor Humayun, and he has also conquered many Rajput states. And his empire was stretching from Jhelum in the west to Brahmaputra in the east, and Himalayas in the north to Malwa in the south. In this short period of time, he has done many work which was very beneficial for the public. And his greatest achievement was that he defeated Humayun in the 2 battles consequently. But he died in 1545, and he was buried at Sasaram. Sasaram is a place which is in Bihar. Now we will go through Akbar. Akbar was the son of Humayun. After the death of Humayun, Akbar came to the throne, and he was very young age. Akbar was only 13 years old when he was ascended to the throne. So his work was taken care by Bairam Khan, who was the regent of Akbar. Regent means he was the representative in the place of king. Because Akbar was very young, so he was not able to take all the decisions. And what problems Akbar has to face? During his time also many rebellions, he has to face many rebellions. For example, Hemchandra Hemu, he was minister of Adil Shah and who has occupied Agra, and he also wanted to capture Delhi. So there was second battle of Panipat 1556 between Hemchandra and Bairam Khan, and in this Bairam Khan defeated Hemu and executed him. Executed means he killed him. Akbar then conquered Delhi, Agra, Punjab, Jaunpur, Ajmer, Gwalior, and thus made his position more strong. Here we will know about the Akbar's conquest in detail. In AD 1560, Akbar became 18 years old, and he wanted to rule independently. That means he no longer wanted to follow the decisions made by others. So he now started to take decisions independently. So he first of all he wanted to expand his empire. For this he adopted 2 measures. First was direct conquest, and the second was through marriage alliances. In direct conquest means he will attack directly to the region which he wanted to conquer, and second was by having a friendly relationship, or by having a marriage, giving marriage proposals to the kingdoms which he wanted to have friends with. In AD 1561, Malwa was annexed into Mughal Empire. Annexed means it was now in the Mughal Empire. And in 1564, Gondwana was also annexed. In AD 1568, he conquered Chittor. In 1569, he seized Ranthambore. So, one after another, he is taking part in many expeditions to expand his kingdom. Now he has a special relationship with the Rajput kings. So what did he do to have control over the Rajput states? As you all know that Rajput belonged to a very loyal, and they were very warrior type people. Rajput were famous for their loyalty and their bravery. So he wanted to capture all these Rajput states so that his empire becomes stronger. So what did he do? First of all, I told you that through marriage alliances he wanted to he expand his kingdom. So in this context, he married in 1562 Daja of Amber married his eldest daughter Jodhabai to Akbar. So this was a very important decision made by Akbar. By making this decision, his family members all automatically become his family members. So they have now friendly relations, and their family members were given many important posts in Akbar's army. So, but there were some kings, Rajput states, who do not want to accept Akbar's suzerainty, and they protested. One of was them was Rana Pratap of Mewar. So he didn't accept Akbar's suzerainty, and he, by fighting with Mughals, he died also. And Akbar conquered Ranthambore, Gujarat, Kalinjar in 1574 to 76. In this time period, Bengal was also next. In 1586, he conquered Kashmir. In 1587, Kandahar and Kabul. And in 1590, Sindh was also has been included in the Mughal Empire. Now, what about the Deccan campaign? Now, I will tell you something about the Deccan campaign. Deccan means the southern part of India. Akbar also wanted, now when he has fixed his position in the northern part of India, now he wanted to have a strong position in the Deccan also. So for this reason, he sent official to persuade the rulers of Ahmednagar, Bijapur and Golconda to accept him as their ruler. But they refused. The ruler of Ahmednagar, Chand Bibi, refused. So they have a war with ruler of Ahmednagar, and a part of Ahmednagar was annexed. Berar and Khandesh was annexed, and Akbar's the kingdom stretched from the northern part of India to west part of India, and end up from Brahmaputra in the east. So from Himalayas in the north to Godavari in the south. So this was about the Deccan campaign of Akbar. So I will cover up more topics about Jahangir, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, and the policies of Akbar and the administration of Akbar in the next part of this chapter. So see you in the next video.